Well, good afternoon, everybody. Been having a lot of people recently ask me about styles of investing with cryptocurrency and what's been the most profitable for us. And what I find has been the most profitable for my clients as well. So today, I'm going to quickly go over different kinds of investing that I feel, personally, are the best strategies in the market right now, in the fairly bearish market that we're seeing here at the end of April. For example, ETH still essentially a good 2.5 times less than its recent high, as well as a lot of the other coins have started to recover more, but there's still quite a ways to go to their recent highs. So I personally have always been very, very wary of putting financial earnings from outside of cryptocurrency into it. I myself has mostly built up through consulting, through donations, through our YouTube channels, things like this. We do consulting with people as well. They give us cryptocurrency for that work. We do mining equipment building. We get paid in cryptocurrency for that occasionally, both for the hardware or for the labor itself. We support clients, but those are some of the other ways that we generate cryptocurrency, which has helped us scale up our farm, our GPU farm, very quickly. But how have we done really well with actual investing? And what kind of investing have I done so far? And what has that done for me? Well, I think right now there's two types of what I would call healthy investing in cryptocurrency. There's the types of developments, the type of projects that you want to invest in long term, hoping that, or under the understanding that, based on your own research and based on market speculation, will be around a year or two from now, 5 years from now. We're talking that hopefully these companies that could be the next Ethereum, the next Microsoft, the next Amazon, the next IBM. Now, these particular type of companies, you have to focus on having very future-oriented perspectives. So you have to have people who are really focused on the direction of blockchain and the industry at large, versus people who are invested into the short term. So projects that I feel strongly, for example, that are long-term projects as far as investing, would be things like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Monero, Sumo Coin. You're looking at things like Neo, Stellar. These are generally function coins, service-side coins, that are already functioning in the market, serve a legitimate application in industry, and are being used right now already, okay? So they've already shown their worth. Now, what most of these particular companies are focused on in the cryptocurrency space is the future. You know, Monero and Sumo Coin, for example, just recently forked away from ASIC equipment. When the ASIC equipment was found to be mining on the Kryptonite algorithm, they forked away from it. So now, what's the strategy with investing with these long-term hold companies? Which I think is if you have expendable income that you can take and invest into a cryptocurrency and leave it alone. You have to not watch the charts. You have to relax. You have to kind of take a vacation, because if you stress out about your long-term holds over the course of 2 or 3 years, we know the market will be up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And if you're reacting emotionally, if it's affecting your life, the people in your life, every time something like that happens, it'd be very unhealthy. So the thought with these projects, you want to be very tight with these projects. I would stick to the top 20 coins, nothing outside of those. I would stick exclusively to service side coins. These long-term holds, the price you're buying them at right now doesn't really matter. If you were to buy Bitcoin at 18,000, or you were to buy Bitcoin at 8,000, it doesn't actually make a difference, in that if your intention is to continue to invest and accumulate more of a product, of a service, of a coin in this case, over time, as that supply gets more limited, the price will continue to get up. So $25,000 Bitcoin, $2,500 Ethereum, all these things mean that whatever you buy the coins at right now are irrelevant. Now, of course, if you can get twice as many coins one week for the same value as a single coin the following week, then you want to try and invest smart. But with these particular long-term holds, the HODL gang as they call it, you just want to accumulate a little more all the time. So you take a little bit of your expendable income every week. You do a little bit of extra work. You do a little consulting. You do whatever skills and assets you have. Use those to generate that extra little bit of cryptocurrency. You put that into that HODL pocket, that long-term hold. You get a hardware wallet. Now, I think that's a very healthy investment strategy. Now, these are, again, top 20 coins, long-term projects, okay? Now, one of the things that people make mistakes is they buy and sell these types of projects. Now, that's great. But when they start to recover, if you haven't shorted yourself, if you haven't bought back in, you'll have a problem. So my philosophy with the long-term holds is buy a little bit all the time. Maybe make this a 5, 10, 15% of your overall portfolio, but maybe a smaller portion, maybe only 20% of your actual cryptocurrency portfolio. So these long-term, okay? I personally take the majority of my investments and put them into hardware, long-term hardware. GPUs that have video cards that will be able to mine cryptocurrencies for at least 8 years. You know, things with 4, 8, 10. These are the types of large RAM you want to look for. But now, the other investment strategy, okay? Back to the main point, is the short-term strategy, the day traders, okay? Not everybody has success with this. It's important that you have a strategy and you stick to it with day trading. You have to put rules down for yourself and you have to stick to those rules, because the second you let emotions affect your day trading, well, you've ruined the whole thought. You want to be emotional about your long holds. You want to be emotionally invested into a project that you can feel comfortable through the up and downs. You know, if you truly believe in Apple or Microsoft, you'll buy the stocks and not worry week to week what the price is. Correct? Because you believe the company will continue to do good. So, with the day trading, you have to say to yourself, I'm now investing into projects with much more risk. I'm now investing into projects which are generally pared. Their success is more pared to the market at large a lot of times than necessarily hype or the actual function of their project. And what I mean by that is a lot of these altcoins, we'll call them, are more likely to go up in value as Bitcoin goes up in value versus an actual announcement from the project leaders. So if you look at the history of cryptocurrencies over the last particularly 2.5 years, generally every conference with most coins has devalued the coin almost immediately after. We're talking as much as 40, 50, as much as 200% drops in value the day of the conference and the day following the conference. Now, the reason that this is most likely due is because of people buying over into the hype, which is very much what's going on with these altcoins. People get overexcited. They overvalue things. They overestimate the possibilities. They say, oh, I'm going to make 100 times, 200 times. We're going to go 999 times. And they might. But with 87% of ICOs in 2017 being flat out scams, you got to play very close with these types of projects. And what I mean by that is I say, you can't just put your money in them and leave them and think that XYZ, BBA, DDD, whatever these things are, your bag of shit coins are going to last forever. Because without a strong team and an actual usage application, they're not going to be as strong performing long term. And you know, you can go to deadcoins.com and just see the endless amount of projects that have lost all value. So what you want to do is you want to say, okay, I'm going to buy this coin, but I'm going to promise myself when it has 20% gains, I'm going to sell. And who cares? If it goes to 40% value, that's fine. You just made 20% on your money. Don't be greedy. Take your day trades, take small increments of gains. What you want to do is you want to focus on the waves of the market. So you can look at a coin over a 7-day, for example, and you can say, well, its high for the week was $1.58, and it's sitting at $1.11. And so you can generally say that if Bitcoin was to go up in value, it'll very likely recover that $1.50. And so by doing this, you can say, okay, so I'm going to buy these coins, XYZ coin, at $1.11. Now I'm going to pre-set up a buy order on the exchanges that automatically sell that coin at $1.38. Now the reason for that being is because after a certain point, the market will start to take gains. As people start to make money, as the smart investors, as the whales see the profits go up, they start to take their money back out, and they do it again. So say to yourself, I'm gonna buy a whole big bag of altcoins, but I'm gonna only keep them until they make 20% in value increase. But then you gotta cash them out right away. And there's two ways you can do this, in my opinion. You can cash them out into fiat using the exchanges right into your local currency, or better, you can transfer those gains into your long-term holds, things like Bitcoins, things like Ethereum, things like Neo, Stellar, the projects that you feel will have a long-term value. You can consider these a safe haven for your altcoin gains. So take your $1.38, sell all of your coins off, take your interest, take that interest, put it back into Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever it is that you believe strongly in, and then keep that original sum and continue to play with that original set of coins and keep building up those safe havens. And as you accumulate Bitcoin and Ethereum and Neo, you'll actually be positioned to go forward with some of the proof of stake projects. So a lot of the higher yielding interest projects you're going to see over the next 2-3 years, blockchain 2.0 and blockchain 3.0, it's going to be important to have reserves of the currency, of these safe haven currencies, we'll call them. So to kind of recoup everything, you've got your long-term holds. You need to not stress about the value of these coins. Any day you have $1 that you're willing to lose is a great day to buy a Bitcoin or an Ethereum. Continue to accumulate those current cryptocurrencies every time. Just keep accumulating more and more. Build up that bag. Now don't watch the markets too hard there, because it'll only stress you out. Now with the day trading, with the altcoins, with the ICOs, things of this nature, make sure you always set yourself a goal and check out at the goal. Be reasonable, don't be greedy. If you can make 20% 5 times a week, you know, you're making 100% on whatever money you're playing with. And if you continue to make 100% interest every week in a very reasonable, safe way, you'll be having $150,000 worth of mining equipment, just like myself. So that's all my advice for today, guys. Remember, continue to hold that Ethereum and that Bitcoin, and we'll see you at the conference.